A solid football team is a competent one, and the 1982 Giants were both. At summer camp, the pace was strenuous, but memories of their playoff season just a year earlier made the grueling two-a-days a bit less exhausting. After the last cup of Gatorade was chugged, it was a relaxed Giant team that broke camp. Winning breeds a winning attitude. The Giants proved they were winners in '81, and in '82, Giant Stadium brimmed with excitement over their playoff caliber team. Fans expected a great deal from their Giants, and the Giants expected a great deal of themselves. But before the season even began, their new wave of optimism was eclipsed by a wave of injuries and adversity. In a preseason game against the Jets, quarterback Phil Simms was lost for the entire year with a badly damaged knee. Defensive end Gary Jeter spent nearly the entire season on injured reserve. In 1981, Bill Neal earned all rookie honors. In 1982, an injury forced him to the bench, and inspirational Rob Carpenter spent the first 12 weeks with no contract and no uniform. Just when fans thought the bleeding had stopped, the man they affectionately named Lawrence of the Meadowlands was hampered by a foot injury. Taylor and his teammates limped into enemy harbors on a ship with broken down masts and tattered sails. A crippled ship that toward season's end even lost its captain. Ray Perkins left the ship and followed the tide to Alabama with the Giants in the playoff hunt. It was a year where the Giants launched a personal crusade to the playoffs. And despite every misfortune that shadowed them, they nearly made it.
There's a very thin line between the teams that make the playoffs and those that don't in the NFL these days. Hi, I'm Bill Parcells, the head coach of the Giants. I feel the Giants' strong finish, winning 4 of their last 6 games, and particularly their last win in Philadelphia, will serve as a springboard to the 1983 season. The '82 season was not a normal one in the NFL. I feel the Giants benefited from learning and growing under what I would term a very difficult set of circumstances. To understand the '82 season, you almost had to be a Giant. The '82 season was truly a Giant test.
On September 12th at precisely 1 p.m., loyal fans and the Atlanta Falcons greeted the Giants on the season opener. On a sun-drenched Sunday, the Giants' defense was, well, the Giant defense. And some big plays on offense put them up by a touchdown in the 4th quarter. The Giants were driving for a clinching score, but suddenly, their inaugural contest became a nightmare.
The Giants have the football. Single setback is Perry. Perkins goes in motion right to left. Hand off to Perry. He's got the one, I believe. Shall he pick up the ball and run with it? No whistles. No whistles. He's free. He might go down all the way. Only Brenner is chasing him. What's happening? Is there a signal? There's no signal. No signal from any official. It's going to be a touchdown. I'm completely mystified.
Perhaps the most bizarre play of the entire season led to a 16-14 Giant defeat. And for 57 long days of the players' strike, they thought about that strange play and about 2 early season games they had dominated but lost. After nearly 2 months without contact, the Giant defense was eager to tighten up the chin straps. On their faces was written a simple message: no more negotiating, it's time for hitting. When the Giant defense is humming, it is truly something to see. It begins with All-Pro Harry Carson, who led the team in tackles, and sometimes it ends with George Martin making a key fourth-quarter sack. They do the little things. It's Harry Carson tipping a Theismann pass to Terry Jackson. It's Jackson returning the favor by forcing a Bartkowski fumble. And it's Brad Van Pelt making the sure-handed recovery. It's Bill Courier barreling in on a blitz. It's Lawrence Taylor blasting John Riggins. It's Bill Neal shedding a pair of blockers to get to Ron Jaworski. And it's Jim Burt filling in for Neal when he was injured. Each and every afternoon without fail, Giant rooters pick out their favorite defensive player and watch for him to make the big play. And each and every afternoon, whether it's Kelly, Tabor, McGriff, or Reese, each makes their rooters proud. On some Sundays, All-Pro Mark Haynes takes center stage. And on every Sunday, they out-hit their opponents. In fact, in the opinion of many, no team in football hits as hard and as often as the men from the Meadowlands. The Giant defense, a unit built on aggressiveness and pursuit, a unit whose architect was Bill Parcells.
Before I became the head coach of the Giants, I coached the linebackers. Some of the things that I tried to stress with that group in this locker room were consistent effort, consistent toughness, and a consistent aggressiveness in their performance. But for the guy that suits up in this locker, I never really had to mention those things because he was born with those traits. And I'm not alone when I say that Lawrence Taylor can really play defense.
It's a familiar story. A quarterback gets his play from his head coach, and as he takes the field, an ominous figure catches his eye. His name, Lawrence Taylor. The head coach insists that we can't allow one man to upset our game plan. But like death and taxes, meeting up with Lawrence Taylor is inevitable. Finally, a bruised quarterback and a perplexed coach decide how to handle Taylor on third down. Simply call a timeout. Then you've gone and done it. You've made LT angry. In one game against Houston, LT was particularly angry, but a whistle allowed Archie Manning to escape with a mild swipe. Number 56 told Manning that next time there would be no whistle. And as it happens again and again, Lawrence Taylor eyes up his prey and his history. The most amazing aspect of Taylor's exploits was that he performed half of his miracles on a sore leg. And he and his Giants hobbled into the Silverdome on Thanksgiving, hungry for their first win of the season. First, Taylor wished a happy Thanksgiving to Lion quarterback Eric Hipple. And then he extended a holiday greeting to Hipple's replacement, Gary Danielson, and forced him into an ill-advised pass. Shortly thereafter, Taylor showed what an all-pro can do on one good leg with one terribly strong right arm. Still, the Giants were losing this important Thanksgiving game, and it was up to Lawrence Taylor to make yet another big play.
Lines up on the right side. Danielson looking in, zone for a pass. He's looking for King, and it's something. He's going to go down the right side. Lawrence Taylor, 20. He might go all the way. He's going to go
Lawrence Taylor, perhaps the greatest defensive player in the NFL. And thanks to his mighty interception, the Giants were winners at last, and their first victory was tailor-made.
We hadn't won one here in front of our home fans at Giants Stadium. And I remember we were playing the Houston Oilers, and although we were kind of dominating the game, we were still 2 scores behind very late in the 4th quarter. And it seemed like one of those days where the Giants just weren't going to get it done.
All day long, the offensive line was getting it done. Number 67, Billy Ard, Richard Humphrey, and J.T. Turner allowed Scott Bruner to survey comfortably from the pass pocket. Brad Benson and Gordon King paved wide thoroughfares through the Oilers, and the man they opened up those holes for was eager rookie running back Butch Woolfolk, who finished off every run like a seasoned veteran. Woolfolk's power running cut the Oiler lead to 4, but with less than 4 minutes remaining, it appeared the Giant rally had fallen just short.
Runner again, play time. He's going long. He's got Woolfolk. Complete. 5. Touchdown. What a grab.
Woolfolk's one-handed grab over the wrong shoulder gave the Giants their second straight win. And in an instant, the man from Michigan proved why he was the Giants' #1 pick. His credentials are outstanding. He's strong, durable, and quick. Woolfolk arrived determined to live up to his potential. So did Syracuse's Joe Morris, who knew that he'd be in a real fight for the starting job.
We both know that, we each have different abilities. He's a great back, and I think that, I'm an okay running back. I think that our competition between each other is helping each other because we're helping each other in terms of plays. We want to make sure nobody makes mistakes. We're very conscious of what the other one does, and that's only going to make each of us better because we're pushing each other.
Joe Morris, the little engine that could. He was used mostly as a specialist, as a receiver out of the backfield. And on a rainy Monday night, that little engine chugged across the goal line for his first pro touchdown. If the Giants were pleased with their second pick, they were elated over their first. Today's backs must be multifaceted. They must be durable runners and glue-fingered receivers. Butch Woolfolk is today's back. As a rookie, all Woolfolk did was roll up nearly 1,100 yards of total offense while leading the team in rushing and tying for the team lead in touchdowns. Butch Woolfolk was the youngster who added flair to the Giant running attack, and quarterback Scott Bruner was a veteran who provided the consistency. After Sims went down, Bruner received every single snap last season and set a club record when he attempted 51 passes against the Cardinals without an interception. The strength of Bruner's game is his intelligence. He's the scholarly type, whose appearance reminds many of Ichabod Crane. And on the field, he is a knowledgeable leader who makes the right decisions, avoids the costly interception, and gets the job done. A smart quarterback uses all of his weapons. Bruner did just that. Consider this offensive balance. Tom Mulliday, 27 catches. Johnny Perkins, 26 catches. Ernest Gray, 25 catches. And John Missler, 18 catches. Even more offensive balance was added when rugged Rob Carpenter returned to the lineup. And on those rare occasions when even Carpenter couldn't secure the first down, All-Pro punter Dave Jennings, the man who moves the football better than anyone, got the Giants out of trouble. Last season, Jennings almost boomed one out of Giants Stadium and onto the turnpike when he nailed a 73-yarder, the longest of his career. The Sky High Giants were playing complete football during a 3-game mid-season winning streak, and they played their most complete game of the season on a Christmas card Sunday in December. The snow let up by game time, but the Giants never let up on the divisional rival Philadelphia Eagles. An unknown free agent receiver, Floyd Eddings, number 88, made a sensational NFL debut by catching 5 passes for 148 yards. The Giants out-hit Philadelphia, they out-blocked Philadelphia, and they outplayed Philadelphia. Over the final 3 quarters, the Eagles didn't score a single point, as the Giants rolled 23-7. Ahead lay a truly Giant test. Could they roll all the way to the playoffs?
The game, I think our players were thinking about winning that game and also their own pride and self-respect.
Pride. The Eagles were filled with it. They remembered the last time they had faced these Giants in Veterans Stadium. It was the day that the Giants eliminated them from the playoffs in front of their own Eagle fans just a short year before. The Giants remember that playoff victory, too, and played with the same intensity that had forged that important win. Philadelphia fans urged their team on, and the Eagles desperately fought back, trying to avert their 4th straight loss to the men from up the turnpike. The Eagles reached deep to overcome a 9-point deficit, but the Giants reached even deeper.
This is the biggest play of the football game. Tightly bunched. Going to look. He's flooding the left side. He breaks the tackle. Runs. He's across the 10. 5. He's going in. Touchdown.
The most important play was still yet to come. The Giants trailed by 1. On the bus, they thought of pride and self-respect. And on the field, the Giants overflowed with both. They had beaten Philadelphia 4 straight times. And although Ray Perkins had decided to leave them, they gave their coach an exit with style. And style and honesty are what his replacement, Bill Parcells, is all about.
I don't think that they felt the '82 season was a true reflection of their ability. I think when Giant fans come out next year, they're going to see a team that has a sense of pride in what they do, fundamentally sound, aggressive. This would be my objective. I feel it'll be very good.